Hi there, beautiful souls. How are you doing today? My name is Naya Nguyen. Welcome to 3D to 5D consciousness. If you're a first-time viewer and subscriber to this channel, welcome. This channel is all about helping you to become 5D galactic being. It's also about helping people to expand their consciousness to become more of an unlimited being. If you're following my video series, this whole video series is about helping people to make that transition from going from 3D 4D state of consciousness into 5D state of consciousness. Now we are in the third phase of this video series where we're talking about the last and final phase of this transition of going from 3D version of yourself to becoming a 5D version of yourself, which is becoming a galactic person. Okay, so in phase 1 I talked about unplugging from the matrix, just moving your lifestyle, moving your way of being away more from the matrix and being more in harmony with nature and doing things more organically. The second phase was upgrading your belief system from 3D 4D limiting belief system into 5D unlimited belief system, because that's what 5D dimension or density is you awakening to your full God self and knowing that there's nothing that's gonna be able to stop you or limit you. You know, anything is possible. Anything and everything is possible. Miracles are the norm. Okay, and now we're in the third phase and the final phase, which is living it. Living as a 5D person. What does that really mean exactly? How do you live as a 5D person? We are going to dive into that in this video series thoroughly. I wrote a fair bit of notes, so I'll cover all these criteria, so that way you have a solid foundation to just start practicing into your daily life, so that you can start incorporating these principles and these practices so it becomes more natural to you. So then that way how you shift your reality is always from the inside out. So once you make these internal shift from inside yourself, the final phase of you experiencing this 5D reality is you actually taking action. We live in a physical realm, so the language of the physical realm is action. So when you take action, you're putting yourself in vibrational alignment and you're telling the universe this is the direction that you want to head into. Okay, so without further ado, I'm going to go right into talking about living as a 5D person. I didn't realize how sunny it was today. I forgot to bring an umbrella, so my eyes are really hurting from all this squinting that I have to do shooting outside. I love spending outside nature, but it's hard to shoot videos out here with the sun being so bright like this. But bear with me. We'll see how much I can cover this with the glare and everything I have to deal with. Okay, guys? So I'm showing you where I am right now, which is by a swamp close to the beach. This is one of my favorite spots because it's very quiet and there's not a lot of people here. So living as a 5D person, one of the things you're gonna make the transition into doing is focusing on living in the now. Okay, the now is the only true moment in time that you have. There's no such thing as the past. There's no such thing as the future. Whenever we get into arguments or we get into a discussion with people and you find yourself dragging things on from the past, you know, or if you're the type of person who always project yourself in the future, where I'm going to get my money to pay my bills, what's going to happen, you know, 10 years from now, what I'm going to do, you know, 2 weeks from now, you know, always projecting the future. This type of activity needs to stop if you want to become a 5D person, because putting yourself in the past, reliving the past, or putting yourself in the future are illusions. Those two timelines don't exist. When you do that, you're putting the ego in control of your consciousness and your vessel as well too. So if you want to become more galactic, you have to be conscious that the now is the only true moment that you have, and live in the now as much as you can. So that way you're making the connection a lot stronger between you, the physical you, with the higher you, the higher self of you. Okay, the other aspect is that you have to gain awareness that you're a multi-dimensional being. So that means that you exist not only in the physical but you have a spiritual, emotional, mental body as well too. So you're multi-dimensional. This physical body of yours is actually only the size of a thumb compared to your whole entire being. So if you can compare the size of your pinky compared to the rest of your body, that's your pinky is very small compared to your whole body. So that's the same analogy that you want to remember when it comes to your physical being as a physical person. Okay, compare your physical body to the real you, which is also spiritual. You're very, very big. You're very vast. Okay, so now you also have to remember that you don't only have one mind. Most people only function with the left side of their brain, and they shut off the right side of their brain, and they only use the lower mind, which is connected to the three lower chakra, which is mostly tied to the ego, the lower self. When you become more galactic being, you have to awaken to the fact that you need to be more balanced in using both hemispheres of your brain, the logic, but also the intuitive side. You also have a higher mind as well as the lower mind. The lower mind resides in the physical body, in the physical realm, and it's more designed to understand how things are happening. It's not designed to know how things will happen. That's the higher mind. The higher mind is outside of your physical body. It's the consciousness that resides outside of this physical realm. So whenever you want to live as a 5D galactic being, you have to live more holistically and incorporate living with your higher mind as well as your lower mind. You also have to remember and gain awareness that you also have a spiritual team that is always watching over you and always helping you. Your spiritual team is made out of your higher self, your spiritual guides, and also your angels. Whenever you incarnate into this planet, you're always assigned a guardian angel. And then you also have a team of spiritual guides as well too, that guides you on your life journey. And they're also there when you die, when you pass away too. They help you to review your life lessons, and if you've learned all you need to learn, and they help you to make new soul contracts so you can reincarnate into different timelines and learn your lessons and ascend in your consciousness. But you always have the spiritual team working with you. Most people are not aware of that, but this is the reason why I'm making this video, so help you gain this awareness. So when you become more 5D, you have to connect more with your higher self and your spiritual team. They're here to help you, but they cannot interfere with your life and your decisions. So they can only help you when you ask for their assistance. They do have to abide by universal law, and one of the universal law is they can't interfere with your life unless you ask. You give them permission, you ask for the help, then they're always there to help you. So I encourage you to be in touch more regularly with your higher self, with your spiritual guides, and with your angel. Call upon them for your help, for assistance and for guidance, for comfort, for whatever. They're always there to help you. I know that when I'm in trouble and I call for their assistance, my prayers are always answered, my problems are always solved. So becoming 5D, this is kind of one of the requirements, so you become more holistic in your way of being. You're not just using only one side of your brain, which is your left side, and being ego driven, but now you're incorporating both sides of your brain, left and right, but you're also incorporating the higher mind and the lower mind, so you're more holistic overall. Okay. The other difference when you become a 5D person is that you become less reactive and you become more responsive. So the ego self react all the time to old patterns, old things that we have learned in our culture, in our upbringing. It's like program. You react to it. It's instinctive. You don't think about it. That's more of a 3D, 4D person. When you become 5D, you're more conscious of what you're doing, of your actions, of what you say, how you say it, the manner and how you carry yourself. And you also gain more awareness of the universal and galactic laws, so that way you act according to those laws, and through those guidelines that's going to be governing your life. So that's why most, if not all, galactic beings in the universe and in the galaxy, in the multiverse, in the galaxy, they don't have any governments because they are self-governing. They follow universal laws, which we will go into in future videos. But this is just to give you some perspective that transitioning from 3D to 5D, you have to gain more awareness on how you conduct yourself. So it's going to be less reactive and more responsive in the way you choose, how you choose to handle your circumstances. Okay. Now, living 5D also means you're living from the heart. What does that mean? Living from the heart means that you're just more kind, more trustworthy, you're to others, generous, doing simple acts of kindness without an expectation of receiving anything in return is example of like living from the heart. You know, picking up garbage wherever you see on the road, greeting people, smiling, opening doors for people, letting people, you know, allowing people to turn in when they're driving a vehicle, not cutting people off. Just doing simple act of kindness for the greater good of all is like are examples of living from the heart. Okay. Meditation and conscious breathing will be very, very important tools for you when you are becoming a 5D galactic person. Meditation is what you use to connect to your higher self. You cannot connect to your higher self through this alert state of being. The frequency is not a vibrational match. That's why meditating consciously every single day, whether it's 5 minutes or 30 minutes a day, this is going to be kind of like a habit you need to get into, so that way you are allowing that connection, that flow between your higher self to be more permanent with your physical body. The other thing is conscious breathing is also very important. Conscious breathing goes hand in hand with meditation because it allows you to bring more of the chi energy into your body, into your system. The chi energy is what the Chinese call it, which is the life force. Prana for the Indians. We in the Western world call it organ energy. It can also be called negative ions, but it's this, when you breathe in consciously, you're breathing in all this life force, which is what source is made out of, into your system to give it that more of an alert state. So you're bringing the life force into your body. Okay. The other thing about living as a 5D person is you have to learn how to set boundaries for yourself. I think most people have this incorrect illusion that 5D people or galactic beings are very passive, that, you know, if they get attacked, they're just passive people, and they just allow themselves to be abused and attacked. That's not what it means to become a 5D galactic person. You have to learn how to set boundaries for yourself. Okay, if people are attacking you, whether physically or verbally, mentally or emotionally, you have a right to defend yourself. You have a right to set boundaries and, you know, and command respect from the other person. This is going to be very important because as a light worker, I know some of my audiences are light workers. You're going to be regularly attacked by demons. You know, demons are in people. They're not just in. They exist in people. They work. Demons possess people through the lower chakra, through the ego. So if people are always in low vibration, they'll be demonically possessed and they act out more from their ego. So being a light worker, you're gonna get attacked a lot by these demons people, and you're gonna have to learn how to just be more resilient to the attack, get used to it, get stronger, but you also have to learn to become better at drawing these boundaries and setting examples to not become doormats for these people who attack you. Okay, being spiritual does not mean you are doormats and you are supposed to be tolerating their abusive behavior. You're supposed to set examples for others to lead to, set boundaries and defend yourself if you need to from their attacks verbally or whatever, but you have to do it in a way that you don't lower your vibration. And to do that, the best way to do that is to speak truth. Call them out in their action and speak truth, and that's how you defeat these demons. because they can't feed up your energy when you're speaking truth. Okay? Now, another aspect, another component when it comes to becoming a 5D person is working daily on transcending your shadow self. All of us have this shadow self. During this ascension period, there's a lot of egos. There's a lot of purging that needs to take place. All of our ancestral DNA and karmic patterns, they need to come to the surface, and they need to be cleansed. They need to be purged. Okay, so I think one of the best things people can do if they want to be very serious about working on their shadow self is probably write down a list of all their triggers, and then examine those triggers and find out how you can best choose to respond instead of react. I know one of my triggers is when people are disrespectful to me and are immature to me because they have a difference in opinion. This is the only time when I actually just like that time, and probably when people interrupt me, or when what I would probably say I would lose my cool or I lose my composure. Not so much anymore if people cut me off because I worked on that shadow side, but if people attack me and show me immaturity and disrespect, I will set my boundary and I will put those people in their places. So this is probably the only time where you see me, really become aggressive or even very assertive with the people, other people, is because I need to set my boundaries. They cannot continue talking to me like the way they do and expect me to just be okay with it. They won't. So this is an example of like setting your boundaries. So being a light worker, you are going to be doing that a lot, because on social media, these people just go around attacking other people, thinking it's socially acceptable to do this in a public space. So you have to do that. Stand up for yourself. And if you don't and you just ignore these comments, which you can do, but what I find that when you do that they just continue with the abuse, with other people or with you again. I've done that before where I've ignored comments, but they just come back and they start attacking you and attacking you until you set the boundaries, okay? And then they won't attack you anymore. They'll leave you alone, and they'll avoid you actually at that point. Another component of another thing you want to practice as you are ascending to becoming 5D is eating lighter. Your body is going to be speaking to you, so listen to it. It's going to probably be wanting you to eat more light food, salads, fruits, not so much heavy, dense food. If you do need it, you do have craving for meat, eat it. But I do know that with my body, it just feels more alive, more nourishing when I do feed on more salads and more food that has energy in it, okay? Another component of becoming 5D is being of service to others. 3D and 4D people are in service for themselves, meaning that they're not there to do good for the greater collective. They're there to only serve themselves. So you see this happening in like businesses or whatever they're involved into. They want to make money only for themselves, or maybe even their family at the most, but it's not for the greater collective. So when you become 5D, you think of the whole collective. It's no longer just about yourself. When you help yourself, but you also do things to also help the collective. So for example, me doing these video series, I'm helping myself becoming 5D, but I'm also sharing my knowledge and my wisdom and my experiences to help the human collective also make this transition to become 5D, if that makes sense. So this is more of the mindset of becoming a 5D person, is that you always think of the collective, never just the individual anymore. Individual thinking is very much a part of the Matrix program, okay? Because the Matrix gets you to program to think only about the individual, only think about yourself. That's why everybody's very separated from each other. They're not very connected to each other, and we could be living in an apartment and we don't know the neighbor upstairs, we don't know the neighbor below or across the doors, because we're so separated from each other. This is all the Matrix programming. Transitioning to 5D, it's more about the collective, and you want to get to know more of the people around you, and you think and you do for the greater good of all, okay? Now, Now, I haven't shared the universal laws yet in this video series, but we'll probably touch base on that in the next few videos. But becoming 5D, you will be required to understand and know what these universal laws are, because they will govern you. Once you understand these laws, you no longer need government, because governments will be pointless. You know how to govern yourself. This is why all galactic beings, they don't have any governments, because it's pointless. They know the universal laws and they live by these universal laws. And one of my missions here is to help people become more galactic beings. So sharing universal laws, galactic laws, will be a part of this process and this journey. Okay, so watch for that in the next video series. The last and final component of living as a 5D person is following your excitement and living your passion. So what does that mean, living your passion, living your excitement? It just means that your higher self is always communicating you through energy. That energy is love, excitement, creativity, joy. Okay, if you are taking action whenever this energy is coming through to you, you are living your excitement. Now, living your excitement doesn't necessarily mean that you need to do like something always spectacular, something always big. It just means that of all the activities that you have to do in your life, read a book, go get dinner with your friend, go to the beach, go take a walk, go for a bike ride. Of all these activities you can do, which one of these activities is the most exciting activity for you to do right in this moment in time, right now? So you decide. For me, right in this moment in time, the most exciting thing I like to do is right now spending in nature, doing this YouTube recording, sharing my knowledge with you guys, and soaking up the sun. This is the most exciting thing for my soul, for me to do right now. When you live in this principle, this principle of following your excitement, following your passion, it is the guiding principle, the organizing principle for synchronicity. What you're gonna find happens that when you always choose the most exciting thing to do in the next moment in your life, the next moment in your life, life will always be fun. It will always be exciting. It will never be boring for you. But it is also the path of the least resistance to you becoming who you're meant to become. Okay, if you guys are out there on this journey to become who you want to become, this is the guiding principle that you want to live your life by. I mean, I've been living this principle for like 10 years, and my life has evolved very, very differently from everyone else's. I'll probably share you that in another video, but it's probably the best way for you to live your life, because you get to your final destination, the success, the freedom, the happiness, the fulfillment, just by living this principle, because it's the road with the least amount of resistance to you becoming who you're meant to become. Okay, if you're going through other modalities, through other method, it's going to take you a lot longer to get you to the destination you want to head into, whatever it is you want to head into. But if you always follow this path of following your excitement, you're listening to your higher self. First of all, this is the language that the higher self communicates to you, which is through energy, which is excitement and passion. If something excites you, it's exciting you for a reason. Okay, you have to follow that reason, and usually it's very unique to you, and is leading you down a path, and you follow that path, you will get to your final destination. I was very lost for a long time about what I should do with my life, and I didn't feel very grounded, and I wanted to have a business, but I didn't know what kind of business. I was all over the place. But I knew back 10 years ago that if I follow what I love doing, my life would always be fun and exciting, and that's what I always did 10 years ago. And now it's led me to this path right now, where I'm on right now, where I am doing what I want to do, where it is exciting me. I'm doing this YouTube channel, which I find is very fulfilling, because it gets me to share a lot of information and a lot of knowledge that I've been having for a long period of time. I'm helping a lot of people with this information. But I also have a business in the offline world where I'm also helping heal a lot of people, and I'm also healing the planet as well too. So my work is very enriching and very fulfilling. So just by me following my excitement, by me just doing what I enjoy doing, led me to this path where I'm supposed to be at. So now I know that this is my mission, this is what I came here to do. You can take action more consistently. You know that if you keep on taking action this road, there's gonna be, major success, major accomplishments down that road for you, because you know where you're going. So this is gonna be one very important guiding principle for you to follow by when you become this 5D person, is follow your passion, follow your excitement. It's going to take you the shortest way to who you're meant to become. Okay, guys? So I hope you guys enjoyed this broadcast. Give me a thumb up, give me a like. I appreciate all the engagement, all the support you guys are doing, because it's helping this channel grow. I do want to mention to you that there is another YouTube alternative right now, which is called Library, and I will be moving my channel to that platform because it's going to be free of all the censorship. It's going to be run on blockchain technology, so there's no centralization. It's all decentralized. The viewers get to make cryptocurrency. When you're watching this program, you're making cryptocurrency, and the creator also gets to earn cryptocurrency. So both sides mutually benefit, and there's no advertising. So how great is that? I'm not sure if you guys have noticed, my YouTube channel is not monetized. I didn't turn on any advertising. So I am definitely gonna go onto this new platform called Library. I will include the link in the description box so you guys can start downloading it and installing your computer, because I think it's gonna be the way forward. A lot of content creators on YouTube are also just leaving the YouTube platform because of all the censorship and what's going on. They don't like what's going on with YouTube. Neither do I, but I'm giving you guys a heads up so you guys can share this new platform called Library. It's very exciting. I'm very happy that we have finally an alternative, and that these globalists will have no more control of manipulation and controlling and trying to censor information and light. Okay, guys? So I really appreciate everything you guys are doing, everything you guys are doing to help me grow this channel, and just tuning in, sharing my messages, liking it, and subscribing. Okay? I'll see you next broadcast. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.